Prime Cuts blog, and today I want to talk about cooking onions, one of my favorite cooking mediums ever, the coals of my wood fire. If you've been a fan of the blog, or you've been following our videos or posts lately, you'll know that I'm crazy about cooking over a wood fire. That's how I do all my steaks at the restaurant. It gives it incredible flavor, and you don't just have to cook on the grill grates above the fire. There are other ways you can utilize the coals and the embers themselves. And today, what I want to talk about is a super simple technique. It was taught to me by one of my good friends, Andreas, who used to work here for a while. And basically what we're going to be doing is roasting red onions by burying them in the coals that are underneath my grill, inside my grill. It takes very little time, about 15 minutes. You're going to throw them in the coals. You're going to let them rest in a tray wrapped in saran wrap, and essentially the heat from the outside of the onions themselves is going to finish steaming them, and then we're going to peel off the charred outer layers and going to be left with a sweet, concentrated, beautiful onion. It's roasted, cooked all the way through, super soft and easy to eat. So first thing we got to do is gather up these guys, and I'm going to bury them in my coals that I have over here. I got a good hot fire going. I made a nice nest in there that can fit 3 onions. And what I'm going to do is with my grill fire tongs, carefully place them in, spaced evenly. And now, I'm just going to gather up some of the other coals, cover them so they get as evenly roasted as possible. As carefully as possible, not to burn yourself. There we have it. We're going to check back in with you guys in about 15 minutes. We're going to pull the onions out, wrap them, let them steam, and then we'll check back in another 15 minutes after that, cut off the outer char, and show you what a beautiful, tender, sweet, roasted onion we're left with that you can use for almost everything and anything. Put it on your hamburger, put it on your sandwich. I serve them with pork chops, but anywhere that you would use an onion, you use one of these guys, it'll make it that much better. Alright, we are back, and we are now going to extract our roasted onions from the coals. What you're going to need is a good, strong set of tongs and a heat-proof container that is significantly taller than your onions are. We're going to put them in here, we're going to wrap it, and let the residual heat finish steaming the onions so they're cooked all the way through. So now, to remove them from the coals, unbury them a little bit. We can build our fire back up afterwards. You can see we got a nice char, white on the outside as the skin's been burnt. They should still be pretty firm if you give it a squeeze. You squeeze it, and you squeeze all the way through until your tongs touch. You have roasted them for too long. Approximately 15 minutes in a hot fire. We got our onions, they're pretty evenly roasted all the way around. And now, I'm just going to take them over to my saran wrap here. Cover it very tightly. And I'm going to use 2 layers because the heat from the onions can and will sometimes melt through plastic. So you can see it is starting to bubble up a little bit. That means the steam and the hot air is kind of ballooning in there. We're going to let them sit for 15 minutes, and then we're going to cut off the ends, remove the char, and we're left with some beautiful hot coal roasted onions. So we'll check back in another 15. Alright, we're back with our roasted onions, and they've rested, steamed, and finished cooking themselves. You can see they're very charred. They're not too hot to touch right now. And we are going to clean up the charred parts. The easiest way to do this, it's kind of hard to identify, but find the little ends of the onion right there, and we're just going to snip the tips with a serrated knife. Kind of see the charred and the very soft inside right there. Flip it. This time you have to be careful because your layers are going to want to separate from one another, so hold it steady with your hand. Again, snip it, and then transfer it to a clean corner of your cutting board. And you're basically just going to pull off the outer char. Some will come off easier than the rest. Sometimes you're going to get it so you have a lot of char and very little onion. Sometimes it's going to be not that much char and a lot of raw onion. You got to practice, find the balance. And this right here is the prize. Beautifully roasted onion that has a flavor, sweetness is condensed. It's like nothing you've ever tasted. And we're going to come back to you in a second and show you our finished plate, how we use these onions here at Caminito. Okay, and now just to show you guys the final product of our onions here at Caminito, we serve them mashed sweet potato, grilled pork chop, roasted onions that I finished with just a quick char on a very hot grill, a little apple cider reduction. There you have it. Some beautiful, sweet, complementary flavors. The onions, the flavor has been condensed, and then you've got the savory from the carbon of the char, and it really is no better way to cook an onion in my opinion. If you don't have a fire, coals, you can always substitute your charcoal grill outside. If you have a fire pit or a campfire, next time you do that in the summer, think about this. You can save them, they'll keep for a couple days afterwards in the fridge, and then all you have to do is reheat them. It's a great way to do onions. I highly recommend it. Hope you like it.